provided me unwavering support is an understatement. Overwhelming support. She's understood athletic training from day one. And by that I mean literally day one. We met our freshman year at Michigan State. So if you're students here today and you haven't met your husband or wife, what are you doing? Get to it. So we met our freshman year, and we met because of athletic training experience. And so, it's really been from ground zero that she's understood, our profession understood what it means to be able to support, and she's certainly gone above and beyond that. And her support, through many different things, her concessions in terms of, late dinners in the dorm, and early on she would wait for me to be done with football practice for us to eat together in the dorms. We scrubbed the floor together literally at Hamline University, my first job, on our hands and knees together in a room that was about as big as the stage, and that's not an exaggeration. She's always been what's next and always been an all-in type of an attitude, and in our most recent years it's been family vacations or bowl trips, and so that's more and more the ways in which she's constantly supported me. And I'll make eye contact, Beth, at some point, just not right now. Your constant encouragement has been great. Really, the endless tolerance is something that I probably look to more than anything. It's tolerating some of the many things that I've gotten myself into, some of the things that I ask in advance. In other cases, I ask for forgiveness when I come home and say, oh, I forgot to tell you that I joined this, or that I decided to run. I usually do the election thing in advance, but you know how it is. My hobby has been professional service, and she's allowed me to do that. She's certainly tolerated my one of these days is none of these days attitude, and I appreciate that. And she certainly tolerates and eye rolls on multiple occasions my what can I do next attitude. And so I appreciate that. I'm certainly not slowing down, and that's because of the support of my family, so thank you all again for being here. They are why I am what I am, and so I really believe that an answer to any question about me, not that anybody cares any more about me as I drone on, but the answer to any question about me is these two tables. Those two tables answer everything that is me, not only personally but professionally. I certainly value passion, and passionate was a word that Jennifer used, and I appreciate her that she's picked up on that. There's a difference between emotion and passion. Steve challenged me to not be emotional. I failed, but I'm okay with that. Emotion is something that's raw, it's something that's instinctive, it's a feeling. And emotion is different than passion. Emotion is instinctive, it shows our best, it can show our worst. But emotion, while it's important, is not enough. Passion, when you look at the two, passion is something that is more calculated. It's objective. It's something that takes your emotions and gathers them and brings them to a focal point and says, my emotions are leading me toward a passion. And of course we become passionate about a number of things. The profession as a whole is something we're all passionate about. But becoming passionate about something very individual within our profession is very important. And it's something that you have to do. So taking actions is what I'm asking you to do on your emotions. Be passionate about something. It's the objectivity of your emotion that will take you places, and I know many of you do that. When you're passionate, you are absolutely aware of your mental state. You know emotionally how you feel, and you direct that in a certain way that, again, takes action. Your emotions are under control. A quote for you, it's only with the heart that one can clearly see. What is essential is invisible to the eye. I think that's really important. It's one of the quotes that sits behind my desk. My walls in my office do talk if you ever visit. I have quotes that really drive me on a daily basis within the walls of my office. That's one of them. A second one, if you are interested, you do what's convenient. When you're passionate, you do whatever it takes. And I think that's, again, the difference between emotion and passion. And if you have that feeling that you remember when you were a student, when you came to your experience, clinical experience every day, that kind of enthusiasm that you had, I challenge you to come to work every single day with that same kind of enthusiasm. I try to do that. I try to do that every single day. With that passion, I feel that I've tried to, and I encourage you to reinvent yourself every day. Learning to walk again is something that I think I do. I think I try to learn to walk again on a daily basis as a professional. I remember my time early on in my career as a dreamer. I spent hours and hours in my position at Hamline University in St. Paul, Minnesota, dreaming. I was dreaming because I didn't have a lot to do. I had a number of sports, but once Beth and I got the floor scrub, I literally waited for emails to be sent to me so I could respond. And I built my network, but I was a dreamer at that point in my career. I I had to become a doer. And so from dreamer to doer, the doer is, not that I ever wasn't, but the doer part is the thing that you need to become, and many people have been in that phase of their careers. At Michigan State, I had to be a doer. I took on as much as I possibly can to learn as much about the profession as I possibly could. Doer became leader, and I tried to reinvent myself as a leader. When I joined the staff at Northwestern, they didn't need me to be a doer. They were a talented group who just needed a little more guidance. And so that leadership thing really kind of took off for me, not only day to day, but also beyond. Again, based on a lot of the people that I had met when I moved to this great state of Illinois. And so a leader has become visionary, and Jennifer mentioned that. And vision is really what they call it when other people can't see what you see. When other people can't see what you see, you have vision. And I kind of feel like I've become full circle because I call it vision now, but maybe I'm back in my dreamer days because I do think a lot about what's next. I do think a lot about what's out there for us. So thank you all again. It truly is overwhelming. This kind of an honor is something that you don't ever think about. It's something that you don't ever believe can be something you can share with your family and with your colleagues. My life has truly been enriched by each of you. I do feel like this is my family, and thank you again. I have yet to meet a day that I would call bad. I just choose to not have bad days, and I have yet to have one. You can tell I don't shy away from emotion, and I feel like I've been passionate about this profession. I hope you find your passion and really focus on things that can matter. The road to success, whatever the success is dotted with many off-ramps and many rest stops. I encourage you to keep driving. I do say it often, and it's something that is short and sweet, and I try to live by it, and there's that word, but really live until you die. And in that spirit, there's a quote that I love, and it's a quote that I picked up recently. It's a quote from a young woman who was a rower at Cal Berkeley, and she died in her senior year of her time at Cal, obviously way too premature. I read that quote a while back, and my instant thought went to Anne. And Anne has been mentioned earlier today. Anne was a great spirit. Anne's spirit is with us every day. Anne was secretary for the IATA when I was president, and gave of herself constantly. And it's this kind of attitude that Anne had every day that I hope everybody continues to have. And I'll read. Your life is happening right now. And this is the only moment that you control. This is the only minute that really matters. If you're constantly dwelling on something that happened in the past, or if you're feeling anxious about the future, you're missing out on your life. Do what makes you happy in the moment. Do what matters now. If you do that, your life will be full. Thank you all. Work.